Hey guys, what's going on? I'm just doing a quick little late night Saturday stream. I'm gonna be going over in Tesla, Xpeng, Neo, and basically whoever comes in here, I will go over what stocks you want me to go over. So the first one I'll go over, of course, is Tesla because that's the most popular one right now. Now, today is Saturday, so the market hasn't moved much or hasn't moved at all from Friday. Now, if y'all have missed my streams or any of my videos and this is your first time tuning in, I'll go over Tesla for you. So, in my Tesla video, I talked about how on Friday we held this support right here, and this is what we needed to see, right? We held support, and now going into the session on Monday, we need to have some type of continuation, and we need to get above this mini resistance. Now, there was some Tesla news that came out just recently, around 6 hours ago, so let's take a look at that. Let me go to news. Yeah, so it says Tesla will halt Model S and X production for 18 days. Now, I don't think this is too much. I don't think this is a big deal, really, because the Model S and Model X are more of the more expensive ones, so those weren't in high demand anyways. The more affordable ones, as this article goes on to say, is the Model 3 and Model Y. So this shouldn't have too much of a negative reaction when we're talking about Tesla going to the session on Monday, but who knows, we don't know how it will react. But other than that, I still think we are bullish on Tesla, even though that this news came out. Like I said, I don't think it will be too much of a deal just because those are the more expensive models and people don't really buy them. Now let's talk about Neo. So Neo, same scenario. We have the share offering coming up next week, or at least a transaction. Now, if you're not familiar with that, basically they're selling or they're adding additional shares. I think it was 50 million. So they're adding that to their float, and that caused this negative reaction because, like I said, they're adding shares, so the value goes down because you're adding more of something. Now, that's okay short term, right? We're going to have that initial bearish reaction. But long term, this is going to be completely fine for Neo. So if you're holding Neo, don't panic. Don't panic sell. We will recover. Now, if you're tuning in and watching this, I see I have some viewers. What stocks are y'all watching? Just let me know in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to go over the stocks you are watching. Let me go over Xpeng real quick as well. So the symbol for that is XPEV. Alright, same scenario with Xpeng. Well, Xpeng is actually different with Neo because Xpeng, they already actually did their transaction. So they sold 50 million shares. Now, I just made a video about this about an hour ago. So if you haven't tuned into that video, make sure and go and watch that because I actually go more in depth and I bring up the article where I show y'all how much they actually sold. So they sold 50 million shares, which was around $2.5 billion. Now, once again, just like Neo, that was a bearish reaction, right? We have that. We're adding shares to the float, which makes it less valuable for the short term, guys. But the reason they're doing this is to raise more capital. What's up, Kim? You said do Airbnb. Okay, sure. So the symbol for that, I think, is ABNB. All right, so Airbnb actually IPO'd this week, right? They IPO'd at a price of, what was that, 144. Now, they were actually going to IPO, or they were expected to IPO at like $60. So they more than doubled that initial price. So we know that we initially pushed up. We hit all-time highs of 165, then came screaming down, and we're actually down to around 140. Now, I'd stay away from Airbnb personally right now. I'd give it a little time just because they literally just IPO'd on December 10th. So that was 2 days ago. So I'd give this a little more time. We can't really go off of too much, but I did chart it, right? So we know that buyers came in because sellers tried to push the price down to this level right here. Buyers came in and we closed right here. We also know that buyers tried to push up price here, but sellers came in. So we know those two levels, and then we know that we held a support right here, and then we also had a resistance right here. Right now, these are the only levels really know on Airbnb, just because it's a new stock. But like I said, I let the dust settle a little bit. I like to see where it's going because it's popular right now. A lot of people FOMO'd into it and they got stuck at the top. So hopefully you didn't get stuck at the top right now, because we are down from what was this highs. So we are actually probably down around $20 from the initial highs. So I'd be careful with Airbnb right now, unless you just plan on holding this for the long term. Then that's completely fine as well. So if you just want to get in this stock and then forget about it for the next 5 years, you can do that as well. But I wouldn't really mess with Airbnb right now, at least. In the future, I'll probably trade it because it is a good company. But right now, since we just IPO'd, we don't have a lot of data to go off of, so I wouldn't get into that right now. Is there any other stocks you're playing, Kim, or whoever's watching? Are there any stocks you are looking at or you're playing? If you are, just let me know in the chat. While you are doing that, I'll take a look at what's another stock we can take a look at. We can take a look at the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ is the technology sector. So that's where all the text. So hold on, we got someone. You said I love EVs, especially NIO, Xpeng, and LI Auto. Okay, so I went over NIO and Xpeng. I'll go over LI Auto for you for sure, man. So I actually had a recent video about that. I broke that down. Now I just drew these lines up here because that's where I would like to see what for LI to do. So we held this support right here. On Friday, we were down $1.13. So we did have an aggressive sell-off, but look at the area we held, right? So I drew this line right here before we even got to this area. So I drew that line all the way back to here. So I didn't know what was going to happen. And then I came back to LI just yesterday or a couple days ago, and I started looking at where we're at, and look what we held. We held this support area right here. Now the reason I drew this as a strong support is because you can look at where the buyers and sellers are. So you know that the buyers came in right here. They came in right here, here, here. So you know that this is a strong support area. So if we're going to bounce anywhere, it's going to be at this support area. So going into the session Monday, I drew out this little mini resistance area. We need to get above this area, retest it, and then start uptrending again. And then I'll be confident with LI Auto once again. But this is one of those stocks just like NIO and Xpeng where they'll be fine in long term, right? They're downtrending right now, but overall it still just looks like a good dip buy. So I wouldn't be too worried about it, man. If you're in shares, just ride this wave out, just relax. And these are one of these companies with NIO, Xpeng, Tesla that you just want to have in your portfolio for the long term. Kim, you said, what do you think of Hyliion? I'm still losing money. It's not going up for a while. What's the symbol for that? HYL? Hyliion. Oh okay. What's your average price at, Kim? Yeah, Hyliion hasn't been doing much of anything right now. So we know that it hit highs of what? $58, and it's at $17 right now, and it didn't move on Friday. I haven't done any research on Hyliion. Do you know what your average is 45? Okay. Well, let's chart it out. Let's see some key levels. So let's see where it's at right now. So that's a support area right here. Then we know that right here is a resistance. And then of course we know, let me delete this. We know at all-time highs is the resistance as well. But I don't know Hyliion as a company, so some sort of news had to have come out, right? So we had this initial push up since we IPO'd. So we IPO'd back in July. We had this initial positive reaction. We pulled back, grabbed some buyers, and then we just pushed up aggressively. So there had to have been some type of news. Now, I'm not familiar with Hyliion, I don't know what happened. Was this dealing with Nikola? So is this another EV company? Do you have any background information on this, Kim? I'm trying to find some stuff here. But whatever it is, whatever happened, is obviously has been a negative reaction, right? Because we had this initial push up, so this was some hype. Now I saw an article related to Nikola. Now I know Nikola is another EV maker, but it's basically fraudulent, right? They don't really have a car. They didn't have anything, so they're just a concept. So it's an EV truck, yeah. So yeah, these are one of those stocks that initially had that big push up and it just fell down drastically. Because now Nikola, it was a company that said they had a truck, but they had no production. They didn't have any sales, and it was just a concept. Hyliion was probably the same deal, right? They just had a concept and they didn't actually have an actual business. So I'd watch out for this one. Now, I'm not saying in the future this could go up, but right now it looks like obviously we're heading in a downtrend and we really need to hold this area right here. If we don't hold this area, then honestly we could go back down as low as $12. Now, in the future, Halion could do good, but like I said, I haven't done a lot of research on Halion. But if it's somehow related to Nikola and their business model, then there's probably some type of fraud going on. Because I know Nikola, they got accused of that as well. And GM one time did partner with Nikola, but they backed out of it. So I don't know what's going on with Halion, but if I were you, I'd look more into their situation and see what's actually happening. Is there any other stocks you're playing? Kim or Mond or whoever's watching, are y'all playing any stocks? Just let me know in the chat as you are tuning in. I'll be more than happy to break those stocks down. Now at the beginning of the stream, for all of y'all that just started tuning in, I did already break down Tesla. I talked about how on my other video that I just posted with Tesla, we held this support on Friday, so that's a bullish sign, but we need to get above this little mini resistance right here, right? So this has acted as a resistance for Tesla. And on Monday, I want to see us push through that, do a retest maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, and then just push right through an all-time highs again. Ormond, you said IDX. Okay. Let's look at IDX. Oh, did I spell that wrong? Yes, I did. I'm sorry. IDX. Okay. So this is dealing in the technology sector. Okay. So right off the bat, this looks like a pump and dump to me. Now, if you're not familiar with a pump and dump, it's where it pushes up really high on some type of news or manipulation, then falls down and just trickles down. Yeah, so are y'all getting into these because you read about them and y'all just see that they're popular and everyone's making money off of them? Because that's how a lot of traders get trapped, right? They get into these pump and dumps and try to make money off of them because they see these traders just hyping these type of stocks up, and then look what happens. You're the type of person that gets stuck, at the top. So I'm here to help y'all out and educate you about y'all need to stay away from stocks that look like this, right? So if a chart has these random bursts where they just burst up, then falls back down, burst up, falls back down, I'd really stay away from those because they're just really easy manipulated, right? So I'd say, to be honest, I would just stick with, penny stocks. Exactly, Kim. That's what they are. They're penny stocks. $1.84. It doesn't take a lot to move these type of stocks compared to Neo and Tesla. Anyone can manipulate these, or not anyone. If you have just institutions and banks, they can easily manipulate these, push it up, and then you're the one that gets stuck, at the highs, and then you're just forced to watch your account just bleed because it pushes back down. So I'd recommend, if you are beginners, you are just getting into trading, please stay away from penny stocks. I know they're appealing to begin with because you're new, they're cheap, and you can afford them. But at the end of the day, they're really something that you need to stay away with because, like I said, you'll get stuck at the top. While whoever knew, who were experienced, that play these solely, they ride it up and they get out, and you're stuck at the top. So just stay away from penny stocks if you're a beginner. That would be my advice for that. Could you please do S&P and NASDAQ for next week? Sure, Sid. I'll be more than happy to do that for you. So NASDAQ on Friday, we had a slightly red day. In the morning, though, we had a huge dip. Then we pushed up. We held the support. So that was my first support I was looking at. We held that area. Now, the reason that was a support, because look, buyers came in here, 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 and here. So we know that this is a strong support. So if we fall below this, we're bearish. But Friday, buyers came in and we held this support, and look, we busted right through my second support area I have. So going through the session on Monday, I would like to see some continuation. We need to hold this support, and actually I have a call in QQQ right now, which is the ETF that follows the NASDAQ. Y'all see that I have my stop loss right here. So let me go ahead and set my alert right here. Now, I've talked about this in every single video, guys. When you're making a trade, make sure that you plan it out like I do, or like you have a stop loss implemented. So have your stop loss implemented, and also have your take profit implemented, so you know your plan before even getting in the trade. You know where you're going to get out if it goes wrong, and you know where you're going to take profit. That's what I do for every single trade, and this will help you be a better trader. So going into a session on Monday and the rest of the week, we need to hold this level on the NASDAQ, and then once we confirm the support, I'd like to see us get above and retest this resistance, right? So all-time highs is up here. In order for us to get back to there, we need to pass through several levels. This is the first level, and then once we get above this level and confirm it, then we're probably heading back to all-time highs on the NASDAQ. But you need to be wary that we don't make a lower high situation, right? So definitely, we need to get above this area right here. That's why I have my alert at this level right here. Because once we get above this, then we broke that lower high pattern and we're uptrending again. So that's an important part on the NASDAQ that we need to be watching. For the SPY, similar, right? So SPY follows tech as well. It's like a mixture between the Russell and the NASDAQ. So SPY's a little different, but SPY on Friday, we held the same support area. We held the same important support area. We found buyers and we pushed up. We actually in the morning tagged this area as well. So we tagged this area as well in the morning, and then we found buyers and we pushed up. Trinibon, you said, do you have any active calls or puts on anything? Yes, I actually have an active call on Tesla. So my Tesla, if y'all haven't watched that video, go back to my recent Tesla video, and I showed you the exact expiration strike. So I have a 24th of December expiration, 700 strike. I think it costed around $2,400, and it's up a little right now because I got it on a Tesla dip. So I'll be looking to either lock that in on Monday or write it up depending on how we act on Monday. So I do have a call open on Tesla, and I also have a call open on QQQ. That's why when I was breaking down the NASDAQ, I explained my stop loss and my take profit because I am writing a QQQ call. And I also have a call on Apple. Same scenario right here. I have my stop loss here, my take profit up here. So I have 3 calls. I have Apple, QQQ, and Tesla. Now whoever's watching, do y'all have any calls or are y'all just in shares? If you're in shares, let me know what stocks y'all are swinging over the weekend, and then we can break those down. How many of y'all in Tesla right now? Or Neo or Xpeng? How many of y'all that are tuned in the stream in Neo or Xpeng or Tesla? Just let me know in the chat. So let me go back to the SPY and finish on that breakdown. Now we held this area right here as I was talking about. On Monday, what I'd like to see is us get above this resistance. You notice how on Friday that we tried to, but we got rejected. Do y'all see this wick right here? That means that sellers came in and we got rejected, and we need to push back up. We need to get above this level because same thing with SPY. In order for us to continue making higher highs, we need to get above this area right here. If we don't, then we're just making higher lows, and that's a bear case scenario. You said you have Tesla stock for short term. Okay. How many shares you holding? Just a couple. And what was your price? Trinibon, you said, do you think CBAT will go up? I have shares in that. Okay, let's take a look at that. All right, Trinibon, what's your average price so I can go ahead and break that down for you? And also the new viewers that are just tuning in. Right now I'm just going over people's stocks they're in. So if you're in a specific stock, let me know in the chat, and then I will go over them once I get done breaking everyone else's stock down. So if you're just new tuning in, I went over that I'm in Tesla, Apple, and QQQ calls. You said you're at 624? Okay. So Sid, you just got in 624. Okay. Trinibon, so you got in at 611 for CBAT? Okay. 611. Now, Trinibon, did you have a stop loss implemented, or are you just swinging this because you see long-term value in this? So if I was trading this, then I would have my stop loss right here. So that's where I would have my stop loss on CBAT. Once we get below that, honestly, we're heading back down to this area right here. So cut it if we get below this area right now. Have a tight stop loss on this. But right now, we are making higher lows. What's up, Justin? Glad to see you're in here, man. You said, just tuning in, do you think NIO will do well in 2020? I like their 3-minute battery swap, and NIO owners in China are saying that their customer service is really good compared to Tesla. Yeah, Justin, we actually have something special going on with Neo. If you didn't know, Neo Day is happening. I think it's January 7th. They're actually releasing their new sedan. So that's really bullish news for Neo, right? They're releasing their sedan, so this is going to be a direct competitor with Tesla's, Model 3, Model S, and all that. So that's really exciting for Neo. So we probably will get to see some type of run up before that, just because that is bullish news. And yeah, I did hear about that battery swap thing. That does look pretty cool. I mean, I don't even think Tesla's doing that right now. So Neo is ahead of that technology. So we should see some type of pop on Neo right now, just because there's so many good things going for it. Once we get past this share offering news where they're selling the 50 million shares, I think we will be bullish for the rest of the year and going to early 2020. You said DCA. Okay, let me take a look at that. This looks like it has low volume. Is this the right one, Sid? So you're in DCA? Yeah, looks like this one has really low volume. You notice that we have these little specks. It looks like little specks. That means that there's really low volume on this, and these would be really hard to chart out for you. Oh, you meant dollar cost average. My bad. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, that's a smart strategy. Sid, if you're an investor, that's perfect. And if you have the capital to do that, then that's perfect. Kim, you said, is Tesla going to go down soon? I would love to get some shares, but it's expensive. Well, I'm bullish on Tesla right now, Kim. Right now, I think it has so much going for them. But if you're looking for a dip buy, I'd consider looking at, let's say, after the S&P inclusion date, right? So December 21st is when they're being included. So I do expect some type of dip by December 22nd. So that's when people will start taking profit. That's when they will, lock in those profits that they already wrote up this way. So maybe look around December 22nd for some dip buy. So that's important to bring up also as well. If you're in Tesla right now, maybe consider selling some of your shares if we do get a nice run up. So Sid, you're on margin. I'd be careful with that, just because Tesla could, dip at any time, and we could get a massive dip. As long as, now I'm not too familiar with margin. How does that work out? Do they do a margin call on you when you owe them too much? How does that work? I'm not really familiar with margin. What do you think, BFT? Is it going to merge with PaySafe? I think you brought that up in my last stream. Now, I think I read up on that. It looks like they will, so we won't know until it actually happens. But right now, they are having that run up. So we had that run up to $14, and we did get a pullback, and we didn't get an aggressive sell-off. So that tells me that there is some optimism with the deal, just because we didn't get that aggressive sell-off, back down to this range right here. So they may or may not get that deal, but right now I'm leaning that they are going to get that deal. So if it goes below 50% equity. Okay, so are you good right now? What is your, how close is it below 50 right now? Sid. And Justin, no problem, man. Do you have any other stocks that you're in right now? If you are, just let me know if you want to see any. So you said, Turnabout, you said yes, I want to buy, but I don't know if I should do a put or call. What do you think for the next couple weeks or so? Okay, well, let's look at Yext for you. Yext. So it looks like right now it's on an aggressive downtrend. So earnings was just recent, so they didn't do as good as people thought they were. They did below earnings, so we had that aggressive sell-off. So actually, we were at $19 at one time, then we gapped down to $17, then we fell again, and we also fell once more. So right now, Yext looks to be on the ropes, and then where I'd be looking to buy Yext would be at this support right here. Right now, it's in an awkward stage where I wouldn't touch it until it did find support, or if it pushes back up to resistance, which is around this area right here. So that's how I would do Yext. Right now it's in a little awkward stage where I wouldn't consider buying puts or calls. Okay, Sid, so you're at 52%, so you are getting kind of close. Yeah, Sid, I don't see it going below 575. At least I don't hope so. Kim, you said what about travel and tourism stocks? Okay, Kim, thank you for bringing that up. So, in case y'all didn't know, the Russell, the US 200 Russell, is the small cap stocks such as hotels, airplanes. So, this is what all those hotel and travel stocks are, the tourism stocks are in. So as long as we're uptrending right now, which we are, and I think since the vaccine's coming out right now, I think we're going to see a surge on these stocks, right? So like American Airlines, Delta Airlines, and hotel stocks, I think we're about to do like a really huge surge on this just because we had that vaccine news that came out over the weekend. So that's something to keep a lookout on the Russell going into the session on Monday. Now, if you want to trade the ETF that follows the Russell, is the IWM, right? So however the Russell moves up, IWM moves up as well. So keep in mind going into the session on Monday how this plays out, but this should be, the vaccine news is a positive catalyst for the IWM and the Russell. So if you want to do a vaccine play, consider getting in this ETF. So you said, what do you think about APXT? Okay, let's take a look at APXT real quick. And while I'm doing that, okay, Millionaire, you said, can you show us what Tesla calls you are on right now? What expiration and strike? Yeah, I'll show you that in a second. Once I break down APXT, then I'll show y'all what strike I'm in and what call I'm in. So APXT, so it's obviously had some news on this. Now, was it earnings? Or have they? Okay, we don't have any data on earnings right now. So obviously, there was some type of huge reaction, right? So there had to been some type of news. Now, is this an acquisition? Yeah, this is an acquisition group. What are they acquiring? So they're acquiring. Oh yeah, they're acquiring Xpeng. I did a video on this actually a while back. Yeah, so actually I did a video on this I think a couple weeks ago, and this is one of the ones I actually recommended because Xpeng is technology, like a company like Palantir. It's actually better than Palantir because it has Microsoft as one of their clients. So I actually recommended buying APXT. And then this area, the 1401, is a really good support to buy at. Notice how many times that sellers try to push price down, but buyers come in. Look, we'll count it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So guys, if you're looking for a good dip buy on APXT, it's right here at the 1401 area, right? This is a strong support, and every time we hit this area, we bounce. But keep in mind with these acquisition companies like APXT and all these other EV acquisition companies, they're drove off of news, right? So when we have news like them acquiring Xpeng or any technology, I know Xpeng is a technology company, but there's a lot of EV acquisition groups like this. So keep in mind that they're driven off of news, but 1401 seems like a good deal. What's up, PJ? Long time no see, man. How you said Neo is going to look good Monday? Lots of news. Yeah, what type of news are you looking at, or did you see something? You said any recommendations on sizing volume rules for day trading? So if are you under the PDT rule, or can you do unlimited day trades? So that question is going to vary, Sid, based off of if you're under the PDT rule. When is LCA merging? I'm holding for a while. Let's look at LCA. Wow. Oh yeah, this is, yeah, I think I saw something on this. Now I don't really know a lot about this, but this is one of those stocks that look like it's doing good already. Now it's a lot different than those other companies that initially IPO'd and fell down. This is actually holding several levels. So this is something I wouldn't worry about if you're holding long term. Oh, PJ, you heard that, you saw that they may release autonomous driving? Okay, well, yeah, that's bullish for Neo then. And also they're releasing their sedan as well, so keep that in mind. You know, they've just been doing SUV type cars, so they're actually releasing their sedan on Neo Day as well. So that's going to be a direct competitor with Tesla, so I think that's going to be a positive catalyst for them. So Sid, you're under PDT. So with your sizing, that basically depends on your account size, right? And how much you're willing to risk. So what I recommend is if you're uncertain about when you're getting in a stock, go in with a smaller position size, and go in with a tighter stop loss if you're uncertain. So with your sizing, go in with you're comfortable with losing, right? Keep in mind that a trade can go bad, and when it does, just be comfortable with taking that loss, but minimize that loss. So just starting out, don't focus on the money, guys. This is advice to everyone watching. If you're just starting out trading, really focus on the actual trade itself. Don't focus on making money. Making money will be a byproduct of you taking a good trade. So as a beginner, with you just starting out, focus on doing your trades. Every trade that you take, do your stop loss, your take profit like I do in every video. Plan your trade out and focus on the actual trade instead of the actual money. I promise you, it will take your trading to a whole different level when you start focusing on the setups instead of the money. So that's what I recommend as a beginner just starting out. So Sid, let me go over ARC real quick for you. Sorry guys, I'm getting a little behind on the comments, but I promise I will get to every one of y'all's. So ARC is A-A-R-K or is it A-R-K-K? Okay, there we go. Right, so actually I zoned this out, Sid, on my stream. I think it was yesterday. I talked about as long as we hold this support, we're still bullish, and we need to get above this resistance because that is all-time highs. But if Tesla is bullish on Monday, then we should do good, right? So as long as Tesla is bullish on Monday, then we should push back all-time highs. Just make sure that you hold this support right here, because if we get below support, then we're heading back down. But if Tesla is bullish on Mondays, guys, Tesla is 10% in ARC. So it's a huge weight. So keep that in mind. So we should head up on Monday if Tesla is green on Monday. Do you recommend AQB, GMO, Salmon Safe? Let me take a look at that. Now, a lot of these stocks are probably going to be news-based. Yes, see, I actually already charted this out. So last time I charted this out, I talked about where my stop loss and entry would be. So as you can see, we actually fell below that. Now, right now, we're probably heading back down to this $5 range, but we could find a support right around here. So the next support is going to be at 668. If we get below this, if you're in it, just cut it, and it will most likely head back down to this $5 range. Hey, can you look at GE for me? My average cost is at $11.20, and I want to sell profit, but it's down for me right now. Yeah, I'll look at that for you, for sure. $11.20, okay. Well, you're not that too far. I wouldn't be too worried about this, but this is how I would trade it. If you're in GE right now, you're at $11.20. Do not let it get below right here. Have your stop loss at $11 and then look to get back in around this range right here, which is the 1081, and then our resistance is going to be at 1140. So right now I would cut it, and then I'd get back in at this support, and then I'd have my stop loss for this area right here. So that's how I structure that trade. Plus we got the FDA for the vaccine. Yeah, PJ, that was actually some exciting news that we got over the weekend, right? So FDA approved the vaccine, so that should see a positive reaction, especially on, as I was talking about, the Russell, right? So the Russell is the small cap stocks, the hotels, the the travel, so the airlines, so Delta Airlines, American Airlines. So all those stocks that really suffered during the pandemic, this should just skyrocket. Notice how we had that big dip basically on all these stocks, and the Russells tried to recover, so it should even go up more on Monday. And now, as I talked about, if you are just tuning in, the ETF that follows Russell is the IWM. So if you're looking to play this off of vaccine news on Monday, guys, get a call or whatever, get shares on the IWM, because this follows exactly how the Russell follows. So keep that in mind. Oh yeah, Justin. Yeah, Justin, you're the one that I broke ARC down for, right? You were talking about how you had a 120 call. You're the one I broke that down for, right? Millionaire, if you're still in here, I'm actually gonna pull up my call for you right now, so if y'all can see that. Okay, can y'all see this? It's on the screen. It's a screenshot. So this is my call for Tesla, guys. So right now, let me break this down for y'all. This may look foreign and y'all might not understand this, but I have a December 24th 2020 call, and it's a 700 strike price, and it expires, like I said, December 24th, right? So it costed me $2,385, and on Friday it was actually worth $2,565, and that's why you see that I'm up $192. So this is what a call will look like. Now, if you are unfamiliar with calls, just do a YouTube search or a video. Now, I'm actually going to be coming out with a YouTube video dealing with calls, and I'm going to teach y'all basically how to do it for a beginner. So be on the lookout for that next week in case y'all want to learn how to do calls and puts. And the calls and puts, they're a lot more leveraged than shares, so you can make a lot more money, but you can also lose a lot more money. So I'll be going over the risk and like that. So if y'all want to see that type of video and you're watching the stream right now, just put a thumbs up on this stream so I know y'all would be interested in that. What's up, PJ? You said how Tesla's looking for Monday. All right, man, I'll go over that real quick for you. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of the stream and on my video, we held the support, and I think since we held this support, I think we're bullish on Tesla Monday, right, PJ? But we need to get above this resistance. You notice how that this was a resistance, and then if we don't get above this, we're making these lower highs, right? So here's our first high, here's our second high, here's our third high. And for us to be bullish and get out of this little downtrend right here, we need to get above this old high and continue making new highs. So that's my plan on Tesla for Monday, and actually drew out how I would like Tesla to go out. Right? This is just lines on a graph. It doesn't have to play out this way. This is just an idea to give y'all how we should look for Tesla. So I think Monday we're bullish on Tesla. Now, someone mentioned to me in my Discord that there was some news that were going out on Tesla that could be bearish, where they said they'll halt Model S and Model X production for 18 days. Now, this is kind of bad news, but not really. Like I said, the Model S and Model X is one of the more expensive cars, so they weren't getting too many sales from that anyways, right? Their more affordable cars are the Model 3 and Model Y, so I don't think really it would do too much to the stock price on Monday. We saw that recall news that came out a couple weeks ago in China. That did nothing to the stock, right? Tesla didn't react to any type of that recall news that happened in Tesla or that happened in China. So I think we'll be good, even though this news is kind of bad. I think we'll be good, and also, yeah, and it's 18 days, right? That's not too big of a deal. And also, look, they're paying their workers a full week's pay. So if they're able to still pay their workers a full week's pay without them doing any work, I think that's fine. I don't think this is bearish news at all for Tesla. This is, yeah, like PJ said, it's not that much of a delay. It's just like a holiday delay. December 24th to January 11th. That's not a lot at all, right? That's like a Christmas holiday. That's literally a Christmas holiday for a lot of people. What's up, Vincent? I ain't seen you in a long time, man. I'm sorry about what happened to the stream last night. My power went out, and then you happened to get in the stream when the power went out, and I was trying to go over Xpeng. So I'll break that down for you right now, since you weren't able to hear that last night. I mean, I'm sorry about that, man. But yeah, so you're right. They did have a closing of their public offering. So they sold the 50 million shares. They have the $2.5 billion that they raised based off of that. So we got that out of the way, right, Vincent? We got that negative catalyst out of the way. They sold their shares, which was a negative catalyst because they were adding more shares. So since we got that out of the way, I think we're bullish going into Monday because we don't have anything else holding us back, right? We had that negative catalyst, and there's nothing else holding us back on Xpeng. So we're holding the support. Now on Monday, our plan still doesn't change. Even though we're bullish on Xpeng, guys, we still have to implement our stop loss. No matter what happens, no matter how bullish we are or confident that it's going to uptrend, it's always important we have our stop loss. And this is where my stop loss is on Xpeng. Now, it could be different from yours, but this is where mine is. I'm looking for us to hold this support. I'm looking for us to push up to this resistance and then break above that. That's my plan for Monday and also for the rest of the week. And I think we are bullish. But if we do get below this, we probably are heading back down to this support right here. So I'll be wary of that, Vincent. But right now, we are looking bullish on Xpeng, and I'm optimistic for Monday. And PJ, you said anyone holding Neo in here? I'm holding a couple shares. I don't know how many else is holding shares. Okay, how many of y'all are holding shares in Tesla, Neo, Xpeng, or LI Auto? Just let me know how many in here is actually holding them. please address VSAT. Okay, and then Trinibon, or sorry, not Trinibon. Trinity, you said do TMO. You got a couple shares in that. Okay. And then I'll get to VSAT after I get over TMO. Okay, so it looks like we're trying to recover from this sell-off. So we did have some type of sell-off, right? So we did have some type of negative reaction, and then we found support at this area right here. So notice how that buyers came in once sellers tried to push price down, and they also came in here, 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 and here. So guys, something also important to point out when you're looking at and analyzing a chart, when you find a level where it hits a couple times, then most likely when you scroll back to past data, it'll still hit that level. That's how you know you have a good support. If you're able to find a support with closer data, see how we notice that hit here once, twice, 3 times, and if you scroll back and you see it here once, twice, you know, that's how you know you have a good support. So that's just a little tip for y'all that if you're just getting out and learning technical analysis. And this is a resistance. So right now we're kind of range bound. We need to get above this. So right now, if you have a good entry right now, you're doing perfect. I'd like to see how it reacts on resistance. So Clive, welcome. What's going on, man? You said you have you have an NIO. Sid, you have NIO. Okay. Kim, you only have 200 shares. That's still quite a lot. Okay, y'all have NIO and LI. Okay. Oh, Trinity, you got a put on NIO right now? Oh my goodness, you better watch out. This chat's gonna get to you. What's everyone's average cost of NIO? So, Mr. North Games, what's up, man? You said I have 1.7 shares of Tesla. Should I sell it Monday? I don't think you should. So, you're holding shares. You have the luxury of holding that for however long you want to, right? So, you're not in options and you don't have an expiration date. So, if you're holding shares right now with Tesla, I wouldn't even worry about selling it, even if we do have a huge dip. But on Monday, I think we are bullish. So, I wouldn't get out of your shares just right, Mr. North. What's your average cost, Mr. North? You have, Kim, you have an average cost of $26 on NIO, and you have 200 shares? Oh my goodness, you are up a lot. Wow, you're doing good, Kim. Good job. Trinity, you said, haha, I have 0.133 shares of Tesla. Are y'all doing fractional shares? So Sid, you have around 40. You have 115 shares for around $43. Okay, so Sid, I wouldn't be worried either. You're not down that much. So guys, my whole point with this and this stream and my videos is that if you're holding shares, don't worry. If you're an investor or you're looking to hold this for long-term growth, or at least for the next couple months, guys, don't worry about your cost. Okay. Now, if you're trading, that's when we need to implement our stop loss and having a plan. But if you're holding these stocks just because you believe in them, semi-long term, don't even worry about your entries. Don't worry about your stop losses because you're holding it for growth. And these are good companies. NIO, Tesla, LI Auto, Xpeng, all these are amazing companies to hold for long-term growth. And right now, we've seen just quite a bit of negative reaction just because they're doing these share offerings. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? They're just raising capital for future things to improve their businesses, right? So I wouldn't worry too much. Yeah, Justin, diamond hands chat. That's right, man. My Neos for long term and Tesla for a short swing. Okay, Sydney. See, that's perfect. Sorry if I called you Sydney. Is that how you pronounce it? Is that why you said Sid and N for Sydney, or is it just Sid? But anyways, so yeah, that's a good strategy to have. You have your long term portfolio, and then you have your other portfolio that is for, or in the same portfolio that is for short term swings, so that you can be making money off of that as well. So that's a good strategy that a lot of people do. So that's what I do too. I have my investing shares that I just invest in, and I also have shares where I swing and calls that I swing. So that's perfect, Sid. You're doing a good job. Kim, you said I want to add more Neo so I can do covered calls. Yeah, that's actually a good strategy to do. So if you get to how many do you have, Kim? You have, did you say you had 200, right? You actually can do it right now. You only need 100 shares to do it. Vincent, you said, can you explain calls and puts? Okay, Vincent, I'm going to do that really quick for you, as fast and beginner friendly as I can, but I'm actually going to have a video on that coming out next week, so I wouldn't worry about that. But I'll explain it. So a call, Vincent, is something where it's like a contract. It's where you're betting that it goes up. Okay, let me pull up this screenshot real quick that I had a while ago for y'all so I can break it down. So this is a call I have, right? So you see this is a 700 strike price. So I'm hoping that it goes to $700 or around $700 by December 24th, okay? My cost, this 23.85, this number right here is how much I paid for it. Now you times that by 100 because there's 100 shares per contract, okay? So that's why it costs $2,385, and you see it's at $25.65. So that means it's actually worth $2,577, and I'm up $192. Now that's a call. If you want to buy a put, that means you're hoping it goes down. So a call is bullish and a put is bearish. Okay, that's a really brief explanation. I'm going to have a video coming out next week. Like I said, I'm going to be going over exactly everything you need to know to learn about options as a beginner. Right? So be on the lookout for that. That'll probably be 15 to 20 minutes. So it'll be a longer video for you. You're too scared to do calls and puts. I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, right, as a beginner, they are very scary to do, but trust me, once you get down like the basics of reading charts and buying shares, calls and puts are so much better to grow your account, but they are riskier and you need to know the risk dealing with it. So that's why I'm going to educate y'all. So be on the lookout for that for guys. I'm going to have a video next week doing with that. Clive, what did you say? You said you're holding 3,662 shares. Oh my goodness, Clive, you're holding that many shares? Can you do that in TOS on mobile app? Yeah. Do you want the breakdown, the video on the mobile app, or are you asking can I do the calls? If you're talking about I can do the calls, yeah, you can do this in the mobile app. So are you asking can I do the tutorial on the TOS mobile app, or do you want me to do, or are you asking can you do calls in the mobile app? Because this is the mobile app for TOS. Oh, sorry, Spesh, you've been trading for 8 months. Well, congratulations, you made this far. Most traders give up, once they lose some money in the beginning. So I just also want to talk to y'all about, beginner mentality, right? So something y'all need to know is that when you're just starting out, focus on your trades. Don't focus on the money, right? And always have a plan. So just always focus on the trade to begin with, right? So a lot of people, they focus on the money to begin with. And yes, money is a good thing coming from trading, but the beautiful part about it is, analyzing the charts, finding key areas, and placing your trade. The money will come eventually, and don't expect too much when you're first starting out, right? I know it can be very discouraging. Just keep at it, and as long as you keep at it, I promise you, this will be really rewarding. Trading and investing is really rewarding for people who stick with it, right? I get losses all the time, so it happens, even me, right? I've been trading for 3 years and I still get losses, so it's a part of the process. And yes, Sid, you can do options, but you have to add them to your account. So you have to go to your settings in TOS and you have to enable them. You should get approved. Do a tutorial on how to do proper calls and puts and put analyzation on the app before the purchase. Yeah, I'm actually going to do the tutorial on Robinhood. Now, I know a lot of people talk bad about Robinhood, but they have a really beginner, easy interface for beginners, right? So it's very easy to understand, and that it's a lot easier to pick up on than these other platforms. So I'm going to be doing the video on Robinhood just so y'all can get an initial understanding of what calls are, because like I said, on TOS it can get complicated, right? Kim, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Robinhood, I still use Robinhood, so I have a account with TOS and I have an account on Robinhood. I like Robinhood's interface because it's very easy to understand and I like it, right? So Robinhood's a good app to use. So I use both. I don't see a problem with both. I know a lot of people talk bad about it, but I honestly haven't had a problem with Robinhood. And Trinabon, you said you use Robinhood as well. Yeah, it's amazing. I do appreciate all y'all guys being here, by the way. We have 31 viewers, so I appreciate y'all tuning in with me on this Saturday night. Nate, you use Robinhood too? Wow. So we got a lot of people using Robinhood. So I will be doing the tutorial on Robinhood then for y'all. So that's something y'all want to see, right? Y'all want to see a call and put option tutorial on Robinhood, getting y'all started with making your first trade. I will be posting that for y'all next week. Yeah, PJ, Robinhood interface is really beginner friendly. I really do enjoy Robinhood as well. Okay, Nate. Yeah, so I will be posting a video for y'all then next week going over the whole option beginner tutorial. So like I said, it's probably gonna be 20 to 30 minutes. So it will be a longer video just because there's a lot to go over when you're first dealing with calls and puts, but it's worth it. Special, you said you got Acorns. Yes, you should definitely get Robinhood. Acorns is more of a, they do it for you. You can't really actively. Oh, Sid, yeah. Webull is really good. I actually like Webull's interface too, and they just announced debit spreads, so that's another option strategy. Who's in here familiar with options? Are y'all all beginners to options? And that's completely fine if you are, because that's why I'm making the video for you. E-Trade? Yeah, E-Trade's a good one too. I've seen a lot of good reviews about E-Trade. Basically, all the brokerages are good now because they are all commission free. So there's nothing really wrong with using any of them. Is it too late to enter MJ stocks? Kim, what's one of them? Is it ACB? Is that one of them? So we had that initial hype, right? And this was based off of the election news. So they pushed up because Biden, and the Democrats are pro cannabis, or they're legalizing it, and then we pulled down a lot, and then we pushed up. So I don't know, Kim, they're really like news hyped. So a lot of news can affect these cannabis stocks. I typically stay away from them, so I don't really deal with these MJ stocks. But if you do, that's perfectly fine. But like I said, I don't really deal with them. Anyone on Bitcoin? No, I do not actually. That's something I've been meaning to get into. And let's see what Bitcoin's actually doing real quick. So it's at $18,000. Is this right? Yeah, $18,000. So I know at one time it hit $20,000 recently. Special, you said you own Dogecoin. So basically all of y'all in here, y'all are in Tesla, Neo, basically all the EV stocks, right? Sid, you love level 2 and we will. Yeah, TOS has a really good L2 as well, Sid. Do you use the desktop platform or just mobile app on TOS, Sid? What do you think of Palantir? Okay, I'll go over that for you. Actually, just when we get done with the stream, take a look at my video. I just posted a video on that, and I broke it down. So I talked about how on Palantir that we need to get above this resistance, right? So this resistance has been showed to us that we get rejected each time that we get to it right here. 1, 2, 3, and we come screaming down. So on Monday, we need to get above this. But something to keep in mind also, we're making these higher low situation. So look right here. This is the first lower high, second, third. So as you can see, we're not really continuing this downtrend. We're starting to coil up, and I think a breakout is about to happen. So I think some type of breakout is about to happen on Palantir. But with every trade, like I said, no matter how bullish we are, always have that stop loss implemented. And then I'd stop out Palantir at the 2604 level. That's where I'd stop out on. But I think Monday will be a good day for Palantir just because we are starting to make these higher low situation. So keep in mind when you're trading Palantir on Monday. You said I was in and out, made a quick 4K off of Bitcoin. Nervous wreck when I'm in it though. Yeah, PJ. I mean, it does move like that. It swings like $2,000, so be careful with that, man. But with Bitcoin as well, man, have your stop loss implemented. You can still do that with Bitcoin. So every trade you take, and that's for everyone out here, have your stop loss implemented, and that will save y'all a lot of capital. Even if y'all do lose some money, it's nothing compared to what you could lose if you didn't have that stop loss. Trendbound, you said, are you into ETFs? I just not really. I mean, yeah, actually I do. Let me take that back. So I trade NASDAQ based off of the ETF that follows it, which is QQQ. So I actually have some QQQ calls right now. But I don't chart on the QQQ just because it follows the NASDAQ. So there's no need for me to chart on this. I chart the NASDAQ. And so this is my trading plan right now for my calls. My stop loss is right here. And my take profits up here. So that's my calls for QQQ. Yes, Sid, the the TOSL2, yeah, it's very confusing. It's not very user friendly. You're right about that. Can you do a video exactly on how to do those lines on TradingView? I never set them up. I just eyeball it. Yeah. I can do a video on that if y'all want me to do like a how to identify support and resistance levels, or how I do that. Yes, that's actually a really good question. You can't actually use a stop loss during pre-market and after hours. It sucks just because the bid and ask is so spread apart, meaning that where you buy it at and where you sell it at. So during market hours, the bid and ask is normally a cent apart, whereas during after hours, it could be like 10 cent, 20 cent, and there's a lot of low volume. So they don't let you do stop losses during aftermarket and pre-market. So if you want to have your stop loss implemented, what I do is I actually don't have an automatic one. I actually do it manually. So when I mean manually, I set my alert, and then when I get my alert on my desktop or my phone, I go in and sell the stock. So that's how I get around that. So every time I get an alert on my phone or my desktop, I sell it. Or whenever I get my take profit, right? So it all just depends. Do you think the elections are still messing with the stocks in general? PJ, I don't think so anymore. Like you said, we had that, where was that? November. So we had that initial push up reaction, then we had the pullback, and then we haven't had that volatility since then. Notice how we had that aggressive push up around election day, and then we had that sell off, and y'all haven't really seen that type of sell off since then. So I think right now, at least, I don't think elections are going to be messing with the market anymore. If anything does, though, it will be stimulus. So stimulus news will mess with the market. So in that aspect, it could still mess with it, but something stimulus news would have to come out, and then that we could see a positive reaction for the market. But other than that, I think with the whole Biden-Trump thing, I don't think we'll see that volatility again like we were when it was happening. Yeah, going back to what Trinabon said, I will make a video if y'all want me to on how I do my lines and stuff on TradingView and what levels I look at. I actually have something really exciting for y'all coming Friday. This Friday, I'm not going to spoil it and what it is. I think y'all really like it. So stay tuned for that. I'll be making a video on it, and it's really exciting. Y'all really like it. It's something big coming to my channel. What's the next time you're going live? Can you do it on Monday? Yeah, Trinabon, sure. I'll do it. Y'all want me to stream during market open? Is that something y'all would like to see? If y'all would like to see that, go ahead and put that in the chat. I'll literally stream during market open while everything's moving, so y'all can maybe take plays with me. Is that something y'all would want to do, where I talk about what plays I'm taking live? Because I'd be more than happy to do that with y'all. If y'all tune in with it for sure. And would y'all prefer that in the afternoon, like 1 p.m., 2 p.m., or in the morning, like before market opens? That's all up to you. So I made this channel for y'all and all of my supporters. So yeah, so whatever direction y'all want to go with this channel, because I made this channel, like I said, solely for y'all. I'm here to help y'all out, educate y'all, and just basically do this for you. So yeah, y'all want me to do it Monday? Do y'all prefer morning or afternoon? Would y'all like me to do pre-market 9 a.m. to like 10 a.m.? Okay, Sydney, you're saying before market open would be good. Okay, so I can shoot for 9 a.m. then on Monday for y'all, where I can talk about where I think things are going, and then I can stay like open live for like an hour till 10, and then have a recap. I'll be more than happy to do that for y'all. So yeah, I'll stay tuned for that, and I would do that during market open. Okay. Yeah, so everyone's saying morning. Okay, guys, that's perfect. So Monday morning, I'll start streaming at 9 a.m. for y'all. And like I said, guys, I have something very exciting coming Friday for y'all. So stay tuned for that, and I think y'all really enjoy that. So yeah, I will stream Monday morning for y'all. Can you do pre-market and then come back after hours? Okay, so y'all, so like a morning stream and then a night stream as well. I can do something like that, where I discuss stuff during market open, like pre-market, a little bit into market open, so like from 9 to 10 a.m. and then after hours. Yeah, okay. We can definitely do something like that. Life with Maine. Okay, you're just tuning in now. I will break down Tesla really quick for you. So sorry if y'all have been watching this and you've seen me break this down multiple times, but life, basically what I was talking about is we held the support on Friday. So as long as we hold this support on Monday, we're bullish, right? We get below it, we're bearish. But right now, we held it. We need to get above this resistance right here. So this high right here, we need to get above it, retest it to confirm it, and then we push up. So that's my strategy for Tesla going into this week. So Eastern time, guys. Yeah, let me specify that, Eastern time. So it'll be 9 a.m. Eastern time. Thank you, Spesh. You'll be waking up early. And no problem, life. If you want to, when this stream ends, guys, if you're just now tuning in, y'all can go back and scroll back and actually see, like, me breaking the stuff down, so y'all can rewind and watch it. But we were just talking about, for whoever's new tuning in, we're talking about that I'm actually going to start live streaming during market open, so y'all can get the full experience, and I can break stuff down for y'all while stuff is actually moving, and I'll be giving y'all advice and plays that I'm taking. So all of y'all seem for me to see that. Yeah, so that is 6 a.m. in California. If you do wake up that early to watch my stream, I truly appreciate that, man. That would mean a lot to me. I know that's early for you, but yeah, I am on the Eastern time zone, so it would be 3 hours ahead of you. But like I said, I will go live. Yes, Monday is going to be very wild. You're right, PJ. So we got so many things going for us. We got Tesla. That's going to be wild, right? We got the vaccine news. So we're going to see probably a good push up on the market, right? So Tesla and the market in a whole is going to be good. You wake up at 4 a.m. Oh my goodness. You have a good start to your day, don't you? Wow. That's early, man. Okay, Nate, that's perfect. So you'll be up at 6 a.m. to watch the stream. Thank you, guys. So for all the new people that are tuning in right now, I'm going to be posting this stream up. So if y'all missed the breakdowns, just rewind it. And then I'm actually going to be streaming on Monday. And guys, I actually got a cool video coming out for y'all tomorrow. It's done with Tesla. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but it's something that you can actually use for every stock. It's a new strategy. So I'm going to be posting that tomorrow, Sunday. And it's really cool. So it's something y'all need to be on the lookout for. It's done with Tesla, but y'all can use it for any stock out there. So I'll be posting that tomorrow, probably in the afternoon. So keep on the lookout for that. It will be a Tesla video. Do you think Pfizer will go up more? So yeah, that's actually interesting to talk about. So we got that huge vaccine news after hours on Friday, after market close. So I think Pfizer is going to have an initial pop up, right? It might pull back, but I think this will be positive for Pfizer because the FDA approved it, and that's the vaccine everyone's going to be using, or one of the vaccines. So the other is Moderna. So that's something to keep on the lookout. So I think that will be a positive reaction for Pfizer. Now, I'm probably going to end the stream now, guys, just because I've been streaming for an hour. But like I said, thank you for everyone that tuned in. We have 34 viewers right now. So thank you for everyone that tuned in. If you missed my breakdown, just rewind the video when I posted, and then you'll see my analysis on Tesla, NIO, and all those other stocks. But like I said, I'm going live Monday. Before market opens at 9 a.m. So whoever's watching this right now, be prepared because it's going to be a good one, because Tesla, we got the news on Tesla, the vaccine, so it's going to be something y'all don't want to miss. Anyways, like I said, I hope everyone has an amazing night. And then I will see you all in the next video. Oh, before I go, guys, I have a Discord in my bio. If y'all have Discord, go ahead and join that, because I can talk to y'all up there. So when I'm not on YouTube, y'all can join my Discord, and then we can chat up there. So if any of y'all have Discord, make sure to click the link in the bio, join my server, and then I'm up there actively. So if you have any questions, send me charts, and then we can chat up there. So just, if y'all have Discord, make sure to click the link in the bio. And thank you for all the support, guys. And I hope y'all have an amazing night. And I will see y'all tomorrow in my video, and then on my live stream on Monday. Anyways, guys, I hope y'all have an amazing day. Don't forget to click the link in the bio to join my Discord so we can talk. And then I will see you all tomorrow. Peace out.